Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, Chris Jericho gets knocked out.
Backstage reaction to Tony Khan's Twitter tirade.
WWE's reaction to Kevin Dunn's replacement.
And a big name was backstage at last night's AEW Dynamite. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Alright, Chris Jericho got knocked out by MVP
Bang!
4 years ago. But hey, look, this is a peculiar thing that I did not expect to read this morning.
No.
But I did, so I'm making a video about it. This comes to us from bodyslam.net. It's Cassidy Haynes reporting that on the Jericho cruise in January 2020, so almost exactly 4 years, Jericho and MVP were involved in an altercation. That cruise, by the way, was called Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea Part 2 Second Wave.
I remember that, yeah.
Catchy title. Things got heated in the altercation, words were exchanged, and it escalated to the point of MVP knocking Chris Jericho out.
He forgot he can do BJJ, didn't he? That's what's happened.
This is it. Silly sausage. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has noted that he's heard this as well. So there you go. I heard that a while ago. Now, just because like MVP and Chris Jericho don't like each other, let's go over their previous,
please,
shall we? In June 2022, Fightful Select reported that MVP and Jericho's relationship had broken down. This was over social and political issues which were made public on Twitter. I wonder what those issues were with the Jericho household. Appropriate that it's in January now as well, this knockout. But anyway, they had a confrontation in a hotel in Houston. It was after an AEW taping, or around an AEW taping. MVP approached Jericho, and according to who you believe, he either wanted to discuss their issues or handle them.
Yes.
Apparently, he invited Jericho outside to settle things.
So have a bare knuckle fight then.
Yeah, to which Jericho apparently entered an elevator and said he doesn't fight jobbers as the doors were closing, which is a total coward move.
Yeah.
Look, the knockout was 4 years ago. It's unlikely that either of these men are still losing sleep over this. Still pretty wild.
Everyone was talking on socials when I woke up this morning.
Same here. It's still pretty wild that a man got sent to the Shadow Realm on his own boat. Gee whiz.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't like to wake up on a boat when being knocked out. It feels rough enough anyway. Ooh. Oh God. Yeah.
What a silly thing.
But on your own Rockin' Wrestling Rager Part 2 at Sea Second Wave.
Knocked the captain hat right off his head. Look, Jericho, man, like obviously Jericho's been topic of conversation this year, owing to some allegations that have come out that I don't feel like we have enough concrete information on for us to really comment on. No. Obviously, if they're true, they're horrendous, and things should happen there. But yeah, he got knocked out by MVP as well.
And AEW right now walking a bit of a tightrope with Jericho. I felt it very obvious that when he did the run-in on last night's Dynamite, they were like, let's keep playing Judas so people can't hear the actual crowd reaction.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to gauge because the audience sometimes are so forgiving when it comes to stuff like that.
Ric Flair came out on last night's show as well, let's not forget.
Ric Flair threw a punch or two on that. Jake Roberts threw a punch as well. That was fun. The old guy just knocking out Jose the assistant. Or knocking him down or whatever. But yeah, there you go. Look, if you don't like Chris Jericho, you'll probably think this story's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's his own boat. Okay, let us know what you think down in the comment section below.
But speaking of talking trash, Tony Khan, obviously everyone was talking about him just the other day after he fired off on everyone, whether it be Jinder Mahal or just WWE booking in general or Eric Bischoff, of course. But the backstage reaction in AEW is absolutely fine with regards to Tony Khan and being on Twitter. A lot of people were, I think, there's the phrase that Sidge always uses, bad faith actors were like, oh man, it's such a bad look for AEW this, and maybe they should get someone to take over his socials. And you were like, I love this.
Yeah, it's great.
According to Fightful Select, no one's really bothered. It's not a big deal backstage, and it wasn't a heavy topic of conversation at last night's tapings either.
Yeah.
You did also have Jinder Mahal on the bump yesterday.
I enjoyed this.
Obviously, he has been a big topic of conversation since, he got the number one contender shot against Seth Rollins for next week on Raw. That sparked everything with Tony Khan, etc., along with cage match conversations and blah, blah. We watched the news from the other day if you want to know the full report. But Jinder, on the bump, said, it was a great start to the new year until I was interrupted by The Rock. Nonetheless, this past week, I was in the ring with Seth Rollins. I told him exactly how I feel, and now I'm number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I was trending on Twitter all day yesterday. Laughs. Trending on Twitter all day today, and somehow again the modern day Maharaja is the talk of the town.
Very good, very good. Kind of acknowledging it without mentioning it.
Yeah.
I liked his tweet, like, who is who? That's funny. Like, why did you delete it, Jinder? That was good banter.
It's one of those ones where I think it's one. It's tongue in cheek, isn't it? But I sense some people were like, actually, he's done pretty well for himself, Jinder. He knows who he is.
Yeah, this is it. Look, I love all this stuff. I don't care. Like, I don't know how yesterday people were like, Tony Khan attacked Jinder. He attacked the booking of him. You didn't go, Jinder Mahal is a rubbish pro wrestler.
Exactly.
People's comprehension is just, I know he said, oh, you put Jinder in a big match or whatever. Yeah, but he's talking about the booking. He's not sitting there going, he's rubbish.
Yeah.
Nonsense. I think people just like to be annoyed at Tony Khan. Be annoyed at him, right? When he makes jokes about Vince McMahon and then signs Ric Flair. Exactly. That's fair. Okay, 100%. But yeah, I love this stuff. I love him causing problems. Like,
it makes our job very easy on a morning.
He's a little stinker.
What should we talk about today? Oh, the thing that everyone online is talking about.
Why do we want a sport full of cherubs who just say boring stuff?
Ugh.
Media-trained professionalism. I mean, I'd care about professionalism if he was my boss or my employee.
Yeah.
But he's not. So
How
here
about
we
Tony?
are. Let's go. You talk your trash, Tony. I love it, man. I love it. Right. Interesting as well that I spent all day yesterday getting called an AEW shill after December. It was a WWE shill. Internet.
I just wish people would conduct themselves better online, to be honest, Andy Murray. Like Dana White. That's what someone said to Andy yesterday.
Kevin Dunn.
Oh, yes.
Talk about Kevin Dunn. Right. His replacement. What's his name again? Lee Fitting.
A fitting replacement.
Yep. Verily. His response has received a bit of a mixed reaction back in WWE HQ. Now, this doesn't sound like it's a consequence of people going, I miss Kevin Dunn, which I don't think is a thing.
Nope.
However, there's some concerns, and I'll go through them. This is PW Insider Elite with the report noting that some people in WWE, in the television and production departments, were not thrilled at a perceived outsider entering the company and being positioned above them, expressing a bit of concern at what might happen if Fitting came in and said, hey, I want my people here, not your people. There's a bit more. Some people are taking a bit of a wait-and-see approach, which is sensible.
As they should, yeah.
Elsewhere, there's a group of people disappointed that WWE didn't promote from within. Some people believe that a gentleman called Chris Kaiser, who's WWE's Executive Vice President of Television, deserved the promotion instead. Dunn left WWE formally on the 1st of January. He'd been there for 40 years. He of many camera cuts.
Yes.
A bane on many people's existence, be they viewers or former employees of the company. I think that the change is positive from our perspective.
I agree.
However, if you're a person in that department and you think maybe your job might be in trouble as a result of this, understandable.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was sort of conflicted by this report because, yes, I understand that people are like, well, wait a second, this guy's not from round here. And, yeah, he might want his own people in. And what does that mean for me going forward?
Exactly.
Having said that, I am kind of happy that they have brought someone from the outside in. Nothing against Chris Kaiser.
Sure, he's a nice man.
Yeah, but I want someone who hasn't been sat under the learning tree of Kevin Dunn for the last few years, because then they'll just do knock-off Kevin Dunn stuff. I already think that they've, I don't know whether this is, I have no knowledge, obviously, whether this is actually part of it, but like, for example, the Ciampa promo, I mentioned it the other day, him walking through the back, through Gorilla, cutting a promo and saying, we're going to win the bloody tag titles, and I'm going to win this match to get us that title shot. Just a nice change of pace, and that's what they need in terms of production for me in WWE.
Yeah, a bit new spice, bit new flavour. I'm looking forward to seeing the changes to the TV product, for sure.
Sticking backstage, though, backstage at last night's AE Dynamite was a big name. Pac was back. Stage. According to Fightful Select. a lot of people that haven't been around in quite some time were at Daly's place, including Pac. He hasn't wrestled since July of 2023. And even then, he wrestled, 6 matches?
Last year. 6 matches, yeah. He came back, wrestled 3 matches, got injured again, and off he went.
Poor guy. Significant injury problems in 2023. Fightful also noted that when it comes to long-term AEW injuries, there's often a long-term, multi-show process of getting them cleared. So it's not like they brought him in backstage and went, "You all right to work?" No? Oh, okay, well, maybe we won't put you on Rampage. He's not on Rampage, he's not on Collision, or not as of right now, he's not going to be on Collision. But yeah, it's a slow process, and that, I think, makes sense. Bring them backstage, get them back around the people, see how they are, face-to-face conversations, etc. But Dave Meltzer, I will say, also reported that Pac's comeback would happen soon. Good stuff. Hope he stays healthy right up. Well, I don't want it to happen immediately after this, but I hope he stays healthy until August of next year because I want to see him at Wembley.
Yeah, definitely. Spoke a little bit about Pac on the Sunday news this past week, covering his absence and he had these 3 matches and he got hurt again. He had that match with Gravity that was like the banner.
Remember me?
You get it. And he's just had a cursed year for sure.
Yeah.
Me and Phil and formerly of this parish, Amy Rapier, were at a Farside gig in Newcastle last March, and he walked past us. And I was like, "Where have you been for 3?" I didn't say that because I didn't want to bother him. I was like, "Where's he been for 3 months?" He's at a Farside concert.
I love it when you see Pac in the wild in Newcastle. Me and Jack, the Jobber, did that years ago. We were walking behind someone and we were like, from behind, that guy looks like Neville from, oh God, it is.
Yeah. He's he lives here, so, and it's a small city, so you might bump into him. It's pretty cool. But
I also realised I said I hope he's better till August of next year. I've forgotten the New Year's happened already.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, what's happening? I'm looking for. He's one of the best in-ring wrestlers in the world. This run has just been a bit cursed with injuries, and of course he likes to go home times and chill with his family. You cannot hate on that at all. So get back soon, Pac. Hope you're well.
I did like his little videos at home during the Pando. It's just like him and his filmography mate was just like, let's make some kick-ass videos.
It was incredible because all those videos, it was like, I walk past that place on my way to work. That's beside the office.
I know those stairs.
Yeah, look at that bridge. Newcastle. Small.
Yeah, right, let's move on to your Gateshead even smaller, especially after their 5-0 defeat from Chesterfield last night. Let's move on to your Twitter questions. What Culture WWE, of course, you want to get in touch with us. Andrew Richardson starts us off. Cheers for the question, Andrew. Good morning, gents. Hope you're well. I'm good. How are you, Andy?
Mid.
With Naomi possibly returning at the Rumble, do you think she will get the pep she did in 2020? Also, what does she do at Mania? Thanks, have a great day.
Was 2020 the year she came back and was awesome and they did nothing with it?
Yeah, it was all over, it broke through into general media. And
yeah, I get my years mixed up because I've got no brain. But yeah, no, she'll get a pop for sure. I think similar. Maybe bigger because of the circumstances of her departure. The last time, she's also been gone a bit longer. Maybe there'll be people who watch Impact who are like, hell yeah, she was awesome over there. So this will be cool. I think she's going to get a good run when she comes back.
I don't know what she does at Mania though. She's not fighting for a world title. It sounds dismissive to say put her in the showcase because the women's showcase was not as good as the men's showcase last year. But the men, if they can do the women's showcase to the level of the men's one last year, it was kind of a throwaway match. And then it had awesome spots like Angelo Dawkins just going, I'm not having that from Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe just you can make the showcase better by putting better wrestlers in it.
Yes.
And Naomi's a good wrestler, so hey.
And have stories going into it rather than just, here's 8 people. Some of them are tag teams for some reason. I've seen people talking about potentially teaming her with Jade Cargill as well. I don't know whether you want to make a tag team of that or a singles match, but you are spoiled for choice. And yes, she will break through the conversation yet again. She's awesome, and she's going to do big things in 2024, even if she doesn't do something massive at Mania straight away.
Looking forward to seeing her and Jordan Grace Hard to Kill this weekend.
Of course, yes.
Be fun.
Probably a title loss for Naomi there.
Why would
Trinity,
that be?
Sorry, she's not Naomi there. Felix Johnson gives us our next question, also introducing us to Walter. Good boy, Walter.
Legend.
Felix says, should AEW use Daly's place as their permanent spot till ticket sales jump? Going to be hard to keep this up with the capacities they've been at, and Daly's looked great last night.
No, bad idea, in my opinion.
It did look awesome last night.
No hate, but they sold 3,000 tickets for a 5,500 seater arena last night. It was half empty. And if you sit there every week, the market's going to get burned out and it's going to get emptier and emptier and emptier.
Yeah, not everyone can get to.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's not. I don't think that's a viable solution. I think that would make the problem worse. It would make the product seem colder. It would be quieter by the week because people would be burned out and they wouldn't be going. If you live in Jacksonville, maybe you don't want to spend $50 on going to wrestling every single week.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know? So no, I would make the problem much worse because the product would come off as colder on TV, which means people would be watching it. So when they did return to other markets, their perception would be this is cold as balls. I'm not going.
Yeah. Well, how do they fix this? Do they just take a step back and go to smaller venues? Because they do kind of have that cauldron atmosphere at AEW.
Make the product hot again, brother. Tell feuds and stuff that people are interested in. Present characters that people are interested in. Book matches that people are interested in.
I feel like they've turned a corner into 2024.
Yeah, it's literally all it is. You need a hot product. You need stars that are popping and people are invested in. I do think they need to get back in touch a little bit with their identity. And they've done a good job of that in the past few months with the Continental Classic in the past few weeks.
Absolutely.
Dynamite last night, really good show.
Yeah.
Really great show.
Ups and downs later.
Yes, look out for Simon Miller. He's always here, slapping the head. But yeah, it's complicated, but it's also really simple. You need hot stars, so that's what they need to build.
Or just keep false advertising Mercedes Moné. I'm joking, they didn't. All right, people just chat about it online, and then people misinterpreted what Sean Ross Sapp said about Mercedes being 90 to 95% in AEW. He didn't say that she was going to be there, 90 to 95% chance. He just said, yeah, she's probably going to sign with them. But we also literally reported, I think this week, despite the fact she's probably going to sign with AEW, it wasn't going to be an arrival at Homecoming. But people don't use their brain.
This is it. Like, comprehension is dead. I said yesterday, just purely speculating. Oh, Tony went mad on Twitter. He's probably going to do something big on Dynamite, like Mercedes or whatever, like as a throwaway comment. And immediately it's like, she's going to be there. Chill.
Yeah.
Just chill.
The other guys have got, it's just there. You know, they're in the know, but they're not journalists. There's only one of them left. Listen to me.
He is.
That's my source.
the freaking eel.
Finally, I'm going to give it's Chris Cribbles sent this question, but his name on Twitter is SOS Distress Call from the mining ship Red Dwarf. So I like that.
All right.
Cheers to the question, Chris. Morning, chaps. Do you think an Orton win at the Rumble due to Rock shenanigans is the easy way to get to Roman versus Rock and have Cody finish the story against Orton, or does Cody have to finish against Roman?
Cody has to finish against Roman for me, 100%. Look, do the Orton story later. Do it at SummerSlam. Do it at Berlin. I don't know. Do it somewhere.
Orton's really over right now. That's going to cool off, and then he's going to turn heel on Cody, and that's a great story that you can lean on.
It's going to whip ass as well because he's an incredible heel. Keep it simple. Always keep it simple. If it's pro wrestling, 99% of the time, the best option is the most obvious option. And the most obvious option is Cody Rhodes avenging that defeat from last year. It's pro wrestling. The babyface should win in the end the vast majority of the times. He has not beaten Roman yet. That's how it should go down.
You mentioned Naomi. I completely agree, by the way, so that's why I'm moving on. We mentioned Naomi a little bit earlier on. I just wish someone, Andy, would predict a video of all the women that could be in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Any chance that could be coming soon?
That would be amazing.
It's coming later today.
I was going to point to it, but it's not up yet. 7:45 tonight, UK time, 2:45.
I wish there was one for the men's then. Instead, I can watch right now.
Oh yeah, there's that. I can give you that. See you later. Bye. Have a nice...
Oh, we got a news later.
Yes.
See you in the afternoon.
Oh, lots of things. Watch them all.
Yeah.